Hi, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my page. We are the fastest growing YouTube channel on the World Wide Web, and if you want to combat that factually, credibly in the comment section down below, I would love to hear your arguments, but just know that my subscriber count doesn't really load correctly sometimes, so it might say something lower than what we actually have, which is 20 million subscribers currently. So, Mr. Beast, you better watch out. Guys, I wish the title were clickbait, but unfortunately for me, the title is not clickbait, and this was a real event that transpired in my life. But fortunately for you, you guys will get to discuss it amongst yourselves. Yay! Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful that we can be connected like this? Well, I wish I had had a connection with this man. And let me just tell you a few things about me. I'm on and off of the dating apps normally, okay? I have my moments. I've talked about this many times on the channel, and I should probably stop talking about my dating life online because even though this is not a current story or a remotely relevant story because it happened 7-8 years ago, a long time ago, it was relevant at the time to me, and it was impactful enough that I have told it to many people in my life, and now I am telling it to you on the internet to be immortally solidified in the public domain. So you're welcome. But I am off the dating apps right now, not because I necessarily met somebody, but because maybe I did meet somebody. Maybe I did. Maybe I do. Maybe I did. I don't know. I deleted the dating apps. I'm not on there. You can't find me. My profiles exist, but I've deleted the apps off my phone. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get back on them someday. Probably. My track record speaks for itself. But that being said, I'm a veteran, guys. I'm a veteran of the dating apps. And I don't want you to think that that means that I am a floozy, because I am not a floozy, even though I look like one. Do you guys think I look like one in my little Nike? Do you guys think I look like a floozy? Come on now. I'm not, okay? I'm not. So I need you guys to stop saying that. Stop saying that. Nobody's saying that, but everybody's thinking it. I know they are. And this is the reason, because I used to talk about, especially in my personal life, stories like this that would happen to me on the dating apps. Now, like I said, I am a veteran of the dating apps. So I've been on there a long time, and I have been transitioned. I have transitioned, okay, if you guys didn't know that about me. And there was a time in my life where I looked like this, a little androgynous, a little more like a boy. And I have been on the dating apps as a boy, as a kind of like gender non-conforming person. I never came out as that, but I definitely was looking that way, if you know what I mean. No shade, all tea, all shade. All shade, no shade. There's probably some shade in there. That's how I looked, okay? So people were probably like, ew, you freak weirdo. So I did look like that on the dating apps, and then I have looked more like I look now on the dating apps, which has been much more successful to my delight. So much so that I'm single. But that's okay. Valentine's Day is coming. I may not be, but Valentine's Day is. So I looked way less good than I did now, but I matched with a gentleman who I thought was handsome. And like I said, this was a long time ago. I probably should timestamp it. I know I could find the screenshots because girl, you know I've got the receipts. I actually need to delete all the receipts because the receipts be taking up a lot of memory on my phone. And yes, I pay $10 a month to Apple for a subscription for memory. I know I need to stop. But I mean, who has the time or the money, the resources? Anyways, no one cares. Guys, I matched with this handsome gentleman, and we don't want that on my wrist. We definitely hit it off. We had a lot in common. He was nice. He was muscular. You know, I like a muscular gentleman, a buff daddy, someone with biceps, the pectorals, a hairy gentleman. You know the vibes. You guys get it. The bears, you guys know the vibes. So this gentleman was all that. I still remember the provocative photos he sent me. I'm talking 5 inches. I'm talking an upward bend. I'm talking a fat head, okay? That was probably TMI. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. You guys needed to know. It's been long enough. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it? It's been long enough. Okay. I'm not trying to out anybody, but like at the same time,
shade.
It was a cute little piece. It was a cute little piece. And I remembered it was one of, no, I was going to say it's one of the first provocative photos that I was ever sent, but that's just not true. I've been berated, bombarded with those since I was far too young. I was far too young, okay? And if you are a girl out there, I'm sure you have it much worse than I do, especially a pretty girl, a pretty little blonde girl. Girl, I know you got it bad. So listen, be grateful for what you have because you could be out here scraping the bottoms of the barrels, okay? And dealing with what I have to deal with. So this guy was handsome. We had talked for several weeks, actually, and then he had sent me some photos, which I did not reciprocate because I didn't do that back then, and I kind of don't do it now, kind of. I didn't do it, okay? I just did. Mind your business. Mind your business, but I didn't do it, okay? And so we hit it off. I liked him. I had a crush. I was exclusively talking to this gentleman, and I thought he was the one. My little 18, 19-year-old self thought he was the one. I was like, this man, this little 5'8" gentleman is going to change my life, rock my world, and marry me. And I had a talk with him about exclusivity, and he was down to clown. And we were long distance because if you live where I live, usually the queer space is a little, how to say, it's a little mudded in the local area, and I don't really enjoy the local trade because the local trade gets around the block. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can think of a few old queens who really like to enjoy the local trade. And, you know, that is fine. But I like to get some, you know, I like to get out there. I like to go. It's not ideal to be 5 to 10 hours away from somebody, but like it could be good for the soul. You know what I'm saying? So this guy was, I can't remember where he lived at this point now. And of course, I definitely shouldn't dox that. But like, I do remember he was far away and we were planning to meet up and go on a date and whatever, right? You know, not important. Semantics. Those are just semantics, okay? So then the worst of the worst happens. He ghosts me. I know. You might be thinking, Jesse, who in their right mind would ever ghost you? And to that, I would say you'd be surprised because I have been ghosted many times in my life. Why? You might be wondering. Maybe because I am,
you know, you wish you could,
a really great person and they just don't realize that. Maybe that's why. What'd you think I was going to say? What'd you think I was going to say? Yeah, I got ghosted by Mr. Man, and this made me very sad. He didn't unadd me on, I believe our main talking platform was Snapchat, so you already know what was going on there. But we were talking on Snapchat, and he just ghosted me. Didn't open any of my snaps, didn't unadd me, didn't block me or nothing. And I was like, wow. This man never even cared about me. Here I am, weeks in, talking to this gentleman, enjoying his body, you know, calling. We had several phone calls and then just ghosted. So I was like, crickets, you know, sad crickets and depression, diet pills and depression. And I was not doing it all for attention. You know what I mean? So I was like, let me just get hotter. Let me just keep working on me. And I got back on the dating apps. Was I supposed to not to? Was I supposed to not to? Like, what did you guys want me to do? You know, like I got back on the dating apps because I was like, this gentleman obviously isn't interested in me. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left me undelivered for weeks. And I am talking, it was like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Like it was a long period of time. Okay. Like I had waited like a week and a half and I was like, I'm over this. Obviously, like nothing had happened, right? Nothing could have happened. I was like, he's fine. He's just ghosting me. I was prepared. I was under the assumption that he was just ghosting me.
Girl.
Guys, he wasn't deliberately ghosting me. This man was in the hospital. That's not funny. It's not funny that he was in the hospital, but it was to me now. It is to me now. It is because I didn't know he was in the hospital, and let me tell you why, because you already know why. You read the title of this video. He was in a knife fight, okay? He was in a knife fight, and he explained to me at the time that I guess somebody was like threatening other people, and I should just say, I told you he was a big, strong, burly man. He was also like kind of like not afraid to go to prison vibes, like definitely had tattoos, definitely like, not that tattoos mean you go to prison. That's not what I'm saying. I love tattoos. But like he looked like he had, you know, he had a story and he looked like he was going to definitely thicken the plot in his life. So, you know, I recognize that now that I'm much older, but at the time I was just like, wow, look at this alternative, oh my goodness, alternative gentleman. This alternative gentleman is so handsome and I have a crush on him, right? That was all that was in my head, that I wanted to do the little gluck gluck, you know? So I was shocked to find that he was in the hospital. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like thinking stomach bug, you know, whatever. No, knife fight, right? So already you're going to want to know the details of that, right? You're going to want to know like, okay, were you stabbing somebody? Was somebody stabbing you? Obviously somebody was stabbing you, right? What really was the semantics there? So he definitely stood up for somebody, which was really endearing to me. It was so hot to me. I was like, okay, so not only is this man gonna fight for me, he's gonna fight for others. So like that was so sexy to me. And then I found out like he got stabbed in his stomach. He like showed me like where his like scar and stuff. It was like all stitched up. I was mortified because first of all, I did not ask for a photo. He just showed me like, I was again on Snapchat, right? And I was just like, so I guess he was like doing it for proof, but I just imagine. And this man was older than me by like 6 years at the time. So like, he's probably dead now. He's probably in prison or dead, but hopefully not. I hope you're doing okay. And I hope your scar turned out really cool. That'd be lit. But yeah, I was really shook by that. And I guess somebody was like getting robbed or whatever. Like, I don't even remember at this point, but I just know that he got stabbed and was in the hospital. And so I was devastated that I had gotten back on, I know, victim blame myself, right? But I was devastated because I had gotten back on the dating apps. I was like, listen, I did do this. I wasn't talking to or seeing anybody. It wasn't like that. Like I said, I'm not a floozy. Okay. You guys don't listen. You don't listen. But I did, you know, let him know. I was real. I was real with him at the gig. And I was like, my thing is like, I want you to recover, right? So he was recovering a few days, whatever. And I had a talk with him about exclusivity again, because I was like, listen, he wasn't sure if he was looking for a relationship. I definitely was looking for a relationship at the time. Like now I would never get with somebody that quickly or like that, you know, invested without going on several dates and not meeting somebody. But at the time, you know, things happen. So I was like, listen, I would really like to be exclusive with you and you to be my boyfriend. And he was like, I will think about it and get back with you. Left me on red. And then like 3 hours later, he messaged me and said, you know what? I thought about it and I don't want to be in a long-term relationship. And then he blocked me. So this was the turmoil that I went through with this man. And I still think about him. To this day. I've told this story to so many people I know over the years. I'm like, I literally was talking to a coworker the other day and I was like, what was the worst date that you've ever been on? Hers was wild, but then I was like, I have something better because this wasn't even a date I went on. This was pre-dating. You know, this was like the pre-date, pre even getting there. So I told them this story and they were shook. You know, I feel like there are others out there that have much more entertaining and crazy stories than me. So be sure to leave those in the comment section down below if you would like to share. But yeah, I never.
It's hard being an icon.
Well, I'm just always so shocked. I'm never not shocked by what men get into, you know? So that's that. And this video is probably the best one I've ever filmed. So I'm glad that you guys can know all about my oversharing on the of my dating life and what's going on with me. So be sure to say hi in the comments. Bye.